All right, we're back at it over here by the machine. We had to take a break, feed the animals. Dakota separated all this stuff out. Found some big old nuggets. I'm pretty sure that's 600 MCM. This is the good stuff. Let's see. Yep, 600 MCM. That's my favorite wire. That's easy stripping, easy money. Also, while he was sorting that, I pulled my wife's car in here, did an oil change for her, checked her tire pressures. We're like a full service rancher over here, man. We do it all. Anyway, we're gonna start with that big stuff and work our way down to the spaghetti. Now, normally I would kind of call it some of this stuff, but we're getting a really good price for copper right now, so we're gonna strip all of it, or most of it, as much as we can. I'm gonna get the machine dialed in for the size, and then I'll let Dakota run some of this stuff, and then I'll let him run that spaghetti. I'll show him how I like to do the color schemes. But yeah, let's get some big boy nuggets in the bucket. Wrong hole. It's one of those situations. Okay. Guess she didn't like that. I knew better. We went more than 80% of the hole. You go more than 80% of the hole, problems always happen. And that's a serious problem there. Half it went up, I don't know how, and half it stayed down. So I can't even get in there with a cutter. Now, see, in my opinion, actually I'm not going to say, because it's something I want to implement that could make that really easy to deal with. Once I get dialed in, we're going to have to make our own machine with all the upgrades. It will literally be the Copper King stripping machine, because there's going to be nothing like it. Nothing, not even close. And it's gonna eliminate a lot of these problems. Well, unless you stick the copper in the wrong hole, then you're an idiot. Well, I'm an idiot for doing that, because I know better. So yeah, now what do? Now we fight. We battle the copper. I might need your help. I might need you to just run that backwards. A reverse switch. Oh, I found my, I don't know if it's for 220, but I did find a reverse switch I bought for this one. It was a 110 machine. Ooh, she is stuck. Okay, I guess what we're gonna have to do, for one, loosen all these up. I got this machine so cheap because of these things. These are actually nuts or bolts that I cut short and drilled a hole down for that thing to go in. The original caps that were here fell apart, or they lost them or something. They were missing when I got it. They had like 2. So I took this back to my shop, and within 30 minutes I had this thing running. Okay, let's see. Chinese quality.
Assembled locally with global parts.
Yeah, roll that back. Yeah, there we go. This is going to be a project. There you go. Go ahead. It moves. Really long like that. There we go. Getting somewhere. Oh yeah. Okay, now we're going to run into another problem here, so I'm going to move that out of the way. It's like worst case scenario. I've never had it jam like that before. That is definitely telling you wrong hole. It's like a girlfriend telling me that's the wrong hole, man. Okay. There you go. Yeah. Okay. Let's not do that again. Okay. One small problem after another. What we got going on here? Oh, we're maxed out. That's the problem. I let the coder run the main stripper there. That way he can get some time on it. And seems to be doing pretty good. He picked up on that spaghetti. I let him run some of that 600. He did jam it up, but that's what happens. Usually that's what happens when I let other people run it. Shut off. So that's going to be it. We're going to clean all this stuff up. And I'm going to try and get away on this. This is probably going to be too much for my manual scale, so I'll have to find a flat spot or piece. Oh, I can use that. Or that thicker steel plate. Yeah, I'll put the digital scale down. Now we are going to have to put this back on the pallet, which it came from, because I can't. These things don't like sitting on the small scales by themselves. So we got to put it on a pallet. We'll tear the pallet and get our weight. We should have a nice little chunk. Maybe we should be above 1,000 pounds here. I'm trying to think. 10% of, well, 15% basically. Smaller wires, usually 75-80% recovery. We did some big stuff. I don't know. I really need to do a bunch of spaghetti and get the recovery down. Normally when I buy wire, it's like a lot of big stuff and a little spaghetti. So I think I do like 15%. I add for insulation, or the duct for insulation, and that kind of gives me how much copper is actually there. So when I pick it up, I pretty much know like what I'm going to get out of it. But I usually don't strip a lot of spaghetti, so I just buy and sell it. I really need to do, maybe we'll do a video on that next time I get a load of a good mix. Like this would have been a good mix because we had 600, a couple chunks of 500. Well, they stripped most of the 500, but we had a good variety in here. And this guy, man, they're slow. Usually I get 2 full bins from this dude. They've been slow. It's been slow everywhere. So, but we still get the big nuggets, and we're going to continue getting the big nuggets. So we're going to go ahead and start wrapping this up. I got to get my truck situated for tomorrow. I'm going to fuel myself up for that long ride, and yeah, we'll come back when we're ready to weigh this stuff. Okay, moment of truth. We got the digital scale out here, and I flipped this pallet upside down because it was kind of messed up, but it'd be good enough for us to set that thing on, give it a little bigger footprint, and we're zeroed out. Hopefully we have 1,000 pounds plus. At 435 a pound, I'll be doing all right. Well, not all right, but look how bad it's creeping down. Yeah, I had to fix the bottom plate where the cylinders rest, and it's this cylinder because I can see the bubbles going. It's bypassing in there. Am I up or down? I was pretty much right on when I said about 1,000 pounds. 1,157 pounds. This thing weighs about 80 pounds, or we're gonna call it 80 pounds. Some are like 79, some are 85. So we got 1,077, 435, 46, 84, and then what I paid for that. Okay, that's not bad. I made about over $1,000 on that deal, so that's good. Okay, now what we need to do is get that trailer back over here, get this picked up from the top so I can set it down, put the dude's bin back on. Oh, we still got some wire, some #1 insulated. I forget, I think I'm getting $3, $3.10 or something. I forget what she told me. Over $3 a pound for the #1 insulated. That's good. So I have a couple pounds there. I got a couple other things. I got some #2 copper already on the trailer. Yeah, we should be into some decent money tomorrow. And we got, while I'm down there, we're going to be picking up some more, maybe even from the scrapyard. I seen it had a bunch of big rotors from some generators that I want to grab. I missed out on that big generator. I didn't get back down there and they moved it along. I really got to get down there and talk to them boys and secure all them big motors going forward. So that's something we're going to work out. It's just I've been so busy here on the ranch that I really ain't been down there at all in the past like 3 weeks. What is that? Man, there's like a bird flying around here at night. There's always some weird stuff going on out here. you gonna put it down there? Oh, yeah, let me back That fucking Kroger gas gave me some shitty propane. This is gonna suck. Yeah.
This stuff I didn't. Those two pieces I didn't strip it.
Yeah, just throw that right in that bag. Somewhere I got a whole ass bucket, like a big trash can full of this shit. Hold on. We're gonna
This isn't over to this. Let it down. It'll catch on the angle iron.
well, we're gonna throw it up here. Come on, here, sweep that on here. How much of this stuff I fucking... Usually I just let it drop. I sweep it on the floor. Look.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna be losing copper. I gotta do something about that. That's a nice little man here. Copper impregnated concrete.
coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Keep coming. Stop. You're good.
Okay, remove that ball that's on there.
Yep.
Go ahead and push that thing right. Slide off. Alright guys, we're heading south to Miami. Look at all them cows. And that beautiful sunrise. Now it is early, but I am kind of running late. I was tired, man. Me and Dakota worked until 12:30, I think. Getting everything stripped and loaded. I got back late. We didn't start until probably 5 o'clock, something like that. So yeah, it was wow, is that rain out there? I like out here, you can see so far out in these pastures. Some of these guys out here got massive land. Look at all that rain out there. Crazy is the way I'm going right now isn't even like a direct route. It's got me going all over the place, but it's faster than taking which you would think would be the direct route, because once you get into Palm Beach County and on the I-95, you just hit a parking lot. Man, that's so beautiful out there. Wow. It was crazy. Sun's over there. I must be heading directly south, which is weird because I thought I was heading south earlier and I turned left. All right, guys, here's the ticket for all that copper. Now, we had a little problem because I was quoted $4.35 a pound for bright and shiny. And when I got there, right before I got there, and good thing I did this, right before I got there, I called. I'm like, oh, copper dropped down to 218. I'm like, or 418. I'm like, 418? How can it drop that much overnight? I was like, yesterday you quoted me $4.35. Could you honor that price? And like, wait a minute. They messed up. They should have never quoted me. They were at like 220. What did I get? 2 or 428. Yeah. So anyway, we had a little bit of number 2 copper, 107 pounds, 405. 433.35. Then we had the bare bright copper, 1,077 pounds, $4.28. That's like the highest I've ever gotten for that. $4,609.54. And then we had the wire we didn't strip, 27 pounds at $2.95 a pound. $79.65 for $5,122.56. And I paid $32.50 for that. So we did pretty good, even though they had stripped a lot of it. And at least we still had some nuggets in there. Now, first thing I'd like to do is thank the subscriber that sent me these awesome fencing pliers. Came, I don't know when they came, but I went to my mailbox. And these are good ones. These are a Channel Lock brand. Let's see, Channel Lock 85s. Made in the USA. Thank you so much for sending them, man. I really appreciate it. These things are definitely going to get put to use out here. Now, while I was down in Miami, we wind up picking up some big boy rotors, some parts for the rotors. We're going to do a little video on this. Now, obviously, these here, I know we're probably going to make some decent money on. But this here, this big boy motor. Now, normally I wouldn't take a big motor like this because I did one in the past. Now, I did one 1,700 pounder. This isn't nowhere near as big. But when I looked up in here, I seen huge knots of copper. Even though the rotor's aluminum, I just wanted to see. Last time I made a little bit of money. Not enough to like do it again unless I just had tons of them. I could do it fast and then squeeze a better price for everything. The price of copper right now, I think I could make out with this, you know. So we'll get the weight on this in another video. And then also I went to another customer and check this out. These are, and he said that he bought 4 24-foot lengths. Look how thick that is. I mean, that is huge. He said this cost him over $900 for 4 of these lengths. Now, he cut some of this off. They were 24 foot. He said that they made it so the guy had 4 lights in his backyard. They powder coated them green, set the lights up on them. The guy only wanted 1. So I might get the other halves of these. So, come as far, thanks for watching. Stay tuned because we're going to have a massive motor breakdown. And me and Dakota were out there getting some tanks from up front. And I see my big, giant 100-gallon propane tank. And you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking it's time to break out the old propane furnace. And let's start melting copper again. Now that I got that big boy tank out there, I could probably split it and run 2 burners, no problem, without having to run 2 different tanks. I could just run off of 1 big tank. So let me know what you guys think about that. Any ideas would be greatly appreciated so I don't blow myself up like I almost did that one time. Oh, and also, I went, so it was really bothering me that I spent $150 at Harbor Freight for plasma cutter bits, right? As much as I hate ordering offline and Amazon, it's almost as much as I hated shopping at Harbor Freight because everything's China, right? For the $150, I actually returned $100 worth of stuff. The ones I already opened, I opened 2 packs of these. I opened a pack of those. So this is 10 right here. This was like $50 just for those. Those are there was another $50. There was 5, $24.99 for a 5-pack. I got 10, and the cup I burned up with the little ring, swirl ring, or whatever they call that thing, and the drag cup. I think it was like $50-something. I think I spent $180. I bought 2 of those. So now I got 2 things, right? So just this alone, that would have been 50. That would have been 100 right there without that. That would have been another 100. That would have been $200 at Harbor Freight just for those things, and you wouldn't have got that. And then I got this, the best arc, the plasma cutter that they sent me. You know, the Chinese deal. Look at that. And I think this was like $50 too, or something. It was just so incredibly cheap on Amazon. I was like, that's ridiculous. I returned the other stuff and ordered this. My plasma cutter, right out of the box, brand new in the box, never came with these ceramic things. So I know the threads are probably thrashed. I don't know if I'm going to be able to thread that on there. But I do have a thread chaser cleaner up doohickey that I can try. We got some drag cups. So I'm excited to try that. And we got plenty of tips and electrodes. So we'll be good. My next thing is the AC compressor cutting machine. We're going to put that in high gear. I'm going to train Dakota on it and let him eat, man. We're going to be tearing through some copper. I have a really good idea. I kind of mentioned it in a video the other day. Well, I mentioned the idea. I didn't tell you the idea because it's a secret about the splitter and what I want to do with it. So I got a bunch of big, heavy angle iron that I've been kind of sitting on. We're going to bring it over here and we're going to start experimenting. We're going to bring out the big 220 welder and start laying down some bead right after we finish our concrete. So one project at a time. I got the Kubota coming back over here probably next week. And we're going to rip all this stuff out and probably use all this for my, we're going to go pile it up in the back for my shooting range mound. This should stop some bullets. And then, you know, obviously we don't want ricochet, so we will cover it with lots of dirt. We plan on digging a pond out back for our cattle. We'll take all that dirt, cover all this stuff up, have a solid shooting range. We want to be as safe as possible, just like same setup that you would go at a proper shooting range. We're pretty much going to have all the same stuff. So, but we'll be able to have a lot more fun. I'll tell you where we're going, right to the scrap yard. Dancing. You ever seen your copper dance before?